Okay, so as promised, let's talk about slap basics. First thing you want to do before you touch your bass, you want to stretch out your hands. I learned this trick from a session guy because he played guitar all day. Here's what he did. Basically, you do this. You take your fingers in the palm of your hand and you pull up slightly until you feel a pull, just gentle pull, down here in your forearm. And then you do it down until you feel a gentle pull up here. And you do both sides, both hands. So as soon as you feel it start pulling, you're pushing back far enough, just gently. We're not trying to hurt your wrists, we're not trying to pull any of the muscles in here. Okay? This guy that taught me that trick is on sessions every day. That's what he does. He plays guitar for a living. So, I took his advice. This way it'll help you from getting any kind of carpal tunnel situation happening or any kind of pain in your wrists or your appendages, okay? Alright, so, first thing out, after you stretch, obviously you're going to warm up your bass, okay? What you all asked for was slap, okay? So there's two things you want to talk about with the slap that are just the basics. First off, you have your thumb and you have your fingers. The thumb part is going to do the slap part and the fingers are going to do the pop. Now there's a lot of techniques that people do, there's a lot of things that go into this. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, cool stuff. For this right now, the important thing is we're just going to go slow and simple. Okay, so first thing out, you want to get your thumb in position. Okay, and normally speaking, especially on a Spector, you can see that you've got a little room here. You can rest your hand on the bass if you need to. Okay, also notice the position of my forearm. My forearm is sitting on the bass. It's resting on the bass against the bridge in some spot. And it also acts as a mute to these strings if I'm not using them. Okay, so let's kind of look at some just overall basics here. Okay, so most people when they slap, they're going to use their thumb to hit the string and they're going to use their first finger to pull or pop. Okay, there are some times where you can go, you're going to use two fingers to pop. Okay, for our purposes here, let's talk about one. Okay, any bass line that you can play where you play like this, you should be able to do with your thumb by the time you get good at it. Okay, so, okay, all thumb, nothing else to it, strictly thumb. Okay, very simple exercises. I know, I'll just call names here. Amos said that he had issues with getting past the disco thing. Well, the disco thing was this. Okay, that's the disco thing where all you're doing is you're plucking or popping an octave. Okay, let's not go there just yet. We're going to get past the disco thing because there's lots more to this. Okay, first thing out, if you can play a riff with your fingers, try working it with your thumb. So if you're doing a groove, you should be able to do it with your thumb. Notice I didn't use any popping, all I'm using is my thumb. So if I can play a riff, notice where my hand is too. My hand is relaxed. Okay, all thumb. Get your thumb used to that. The easiest way I know to start doing that is just being able to tap the string with your thumb. Let your hand rest. Notice my forearm is moving, but it's not coming off the bass. Okay, it's just kind of there. I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm doing this. Okay, all thumb. Work on that because you can play strings. You can play all the way down here on your thumb. Okay, you can do all that with just your thumb. By the time you put the pop into that, you're going to have something completely different. Okay, the main thing here, guys, start with your thumb. Any bass line, pretty much, unless you're playing super speed metal, you can play with your fingers, you can play with your thumb. Yeah, of course, you're going to change a few notes up here and there because you don't need all those notes unless you're playing like that. Okay, go with the thumb. Again, relax your hand, rest your forearm on the bass. Okay, and then you can put all your tricks in there. So if you're playing a chord or you're doing all this little kind of stuff, you can throw that in there as you have time. Remember, you want to keep it in, especially most funk is played in 4/4. There are exceptions to that. If you're going to slap funk like that, most of it happens in 4. Obviously, there are people like T.M. Stevens and some of those guys who do it in different time sigs. If you want to do that, hit it. Most important thing to start out though, thumb. I keep coming back to it, but it's all about the thumb. Okay? And again, forearm in this case is just used to rest on the bass. It's all wrist. Talk about your wrist. This is where your wrist comes in. That's why you do the stretching exercises. Okay? This is the beginning. We'll do some more of these, but for now, let's start with that. For those of you who are rocking this, keep your thumb going. Put your thumb on the string, pop it out. Hear the old Sly and the Family Stone song? Probably one of the easiest ones to get comfortable with the motion. Thank you for letting me be myself. That's the song. That's the riff. Just like that. Songs like that will get you started. Some of the cooler, funkier stuff comes later. Start with that now. We'll catch you next time. Have fun.